Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another ball-dropping episode of The Good
Game.
Guys?
Ball dropping?
I'm sure something will happen.
Something.
It always does.
It's just that has a couple connotations.
I think he was referring to us or Twitch or somewhere dropping the ball as opposed to us forcing puberty.
I don't know, it depends on how much we
terrible.
swear.
You know? I'll let you have it.
Alrighty, so we are here joined by our host, Dr.Captain.
I am the loud kid.
Deg?
And I'm the NPC.
And we swear we have a reason Aaron's not here this time around.
Right? Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, we had a reason last week, too.
I get. Well, for Aaron.
He's
Well, for all
quote-unquote
of us.
chaotic.
Okay, yeah, so last week we weren't actually here because both Dan and I were over at Anime Expo, and we got some shit to talk about with that.
And the rest of us just didn't want to.
Kinda.
We appreciate your
Yeah.
honesty.
I didn't know that there was a case of who gives a fuck going around.
There was indeed a case of who gives a fuck.
That's always going around, dude.
But yeah, this week, Aaron's hand is broken. He busted his right ring finger and a bit of his wrist.
Ugh. You want to tell us how we managed to pull that one off?
I don't really know exactly why it happened, aside from, you know, a couple of the people he's dealing with in his life causing him to get angry enough to punch a big metal box.
Wow.
And so what he did was he punched a big metal box hard enough to break his own hand.
Oh my god.
So there's obviously some rage or some shit going on there.
You don't suppose it's that same roommate that keeps, like, almost intruding on, like, fucking streams and shit, is it?
Well, yeah, that's half of it.
Oh boy.
Yep,
Now we know the root of all problems with Aaron's life.
right?
Women.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm surprised he's not gay. For as much as he hates women.
Wow.
I guess
Could
that's
he
one
be
way
gay?
to put it.
Could he pull off gay?
Nah.
Why the hell not?
I don't know. I'm just actually kind of thinking, could Aaron pull off gay?
Why the fuck not?
Well, is there such a thing as a thug gay guy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No fucking way.
Now,
yes.
if you want to
need an
believe
He's
in,
not ghetto enough for that, though.
if you want to believe in only stereotypes, there's prison.
Prison gay isn't really gay, though. It's kind of like Navy gay with Any Port in a Storm, and Aaron was in the Navy.
Oh, shit.
No, that
That's
works
right.
too.
So, could happen. Probably won't. But
Besides, you need to stop watching so much Family Guy. There's no one who can and can't be gay.
right.
I guess that's fair.
Right. I mean, there are NFL athletes, like professional football players who are gay. There are...
Isn't there just the one right now?
They really like grabbing
I'm
those
sure
footballs.
there's more than one. There's just one that's out.
Oh, that's fair, yeah. So, anyway.
Go
Now that
check
we-
your closet. I'm sure there's like 14 or 15 skeletons in there that are totally flaming.
Anyway.
Not coming out of the closet.
God, we saw that episode at our hotel room. That very episode played.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You gotta get out of the closet. Oh, my God. It's the best fucking
Tom
South Park
Cruise, you
episode.
need to get out of that closet right now. Not coming out of the closet.
Anyway, so we figured myself and Dan would probably hold off on how our week's been because we got a lot to talk about with Anime Expo.
You have a lot to bore us with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not too much.
Oh, sure.
Maybe we'll bore you. I don't know about everyone else.
Probably going to
Anime
bore the shit
and
out of
manga. Girugamesh.
So how about we start?
I
you.
used
Take your Sakura-con bullshit.
I used to think of that every time I talked about conventions and stuff, but now I think of that one picture where there's
Rugamesh.
it's a picture of a bunch of Homestuck cosplayers doing something goofy. There's just a black guy walking by, scowling as hard as he can. That's
White
like-
people.
Exactly.
Right.
Anyway, so River or Dag, who do you want to be first?
1, 2, 3, not it.
Well, alright. I guess I'll take up an hour talking about Pathfinder.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
I can't
Just
follow
talking
that.
about this.
I had some fun with my new campaign as
So
a
anyway.
Magus. my friend who is the boyfriend of the GM wanted to be a skeleton, and the GM wouldn't let him. So we found a way in game to turn him into a skeleton, like the first session.
Go on.
So he ended up playing a bard with a bunch of charisma, and then I bumped my use magic device skill like way up. And since the GM kindly told us about how we were going to be starting off in the necromantic capital of this setting, we decided, hey, we could just easily buy the scroll for this there. And then it took me 3 tries, but like my skills were high enough to where I avoided mishaps with the scroll. And after he slit his throat, I just sat there for a couple of minutes going, let me try using the scroll. No, that didn't work. Okay, how about this? Yay, it worked. And he sat up and pulled his flesh off of his bones. And immediately started juggling his head.
Well, you know what they say. There's a skeleton in your body right now.
Oh shit.
Well,
You need to let it out. It wants to be free.
his next step is to find a way to just put his entire essence inside of his skull, and a way for it to magically float around. Because then
yeah.
you could be in Planescape.
Well, he's working on being some sort of lich thing, and he might like resurrect somebody's hand as like an undead crawling hand servant thing, and just put his skull on it, and so it'll like crawl around everywhere
So he's gonna be a thing from the Addams family.
with a skull on top,
Okay.
and have his own separate body as well.
Okay.
Now I just got a great inside joke for an RPG setting.
And now he can make all the bone jokes he wants.
I would let it happen, so long as he had like 3 character sheets for.
Oh yeah.
For
No,
those,
it's
yeah.
and it's funny too because like the thing he got raised as a skeletal champion, he got a bunch of extra shit from it. Like he gets all the standard undead like immunities and bonuses, and he gets 2 extra hit dice and a couple of other things the regular skeleton doesn't get. So the GM would have really been better off just letting him be the shitty piece of crap skeleton at the start.
Right?
So we did this like and normally that would be like a GM bending the rules in order to let you be a monster race at the beginning.
Right.
This was completely legal, like with just the basic Pathfinder rules.
Okay. So you rules lawyered the GM, even though he specifically said he didn't want this to happen.
No, he just didn't want
you
us
were
to be.
in for some interesting times coming up here, involving like a Monty Python foot maybe, and
Oh, him, sure.
yeah.
My character will just enjoy watching the aftermath.
You were involved in the shenanigans.
You kind of were, dude.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get some shit.
I
dude.
was complicit, definitely, but it was within my character.
You are going to lose something, and it'll be something you will miss.
Nah, just my skelly, bro. That's about it.
But you'd miss that.
Yeah, a little bit. And then in the campaign we had today, since we didn't have enough people, we decided to do another like chaotic red day where the god of passion takes over. So we re-rolled new characters, and everyone was wrestlers, and we did like a luchador tag team event, and that was pretty fun. I ended up like kicking the crap out of him because I spec'd really hard for it.
I'm gonna kick your ass if you said you didn't make John Cena.
No, I made a little Mexican halfling, and I called him El Pulgo,
Which is to say,
the flea, basically.
Oh.
And so I had I had a bunch of stuff that was countering grappling, and I was like really good at grappling people bigger than me, which everyone was, and yeah, and I had a bunch of stuff to where like, and since it's taking place in an arena with an audience, it was performance combat, so I had some stuff that I could do where it was like as soon as I do a combat maneuver against someone, like either I grapple them or trip them, then I can immediately, while I do my performance combat check to influence the crowd, I can immediately like move free and like take free movement action and get a bonus on the combat check.
See, dude, our chat room knows what's up, man.
they do.
They do. They know what the fuck's up.
Oh, and his name is John Cena.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should have made John Cena.
I'm surprised no one else named their character John Cena. I was really surprised.
I'm not surprised at all. How many people do you know in real life that actually like?
Memes? Plenty.
Well, okay. I was going to say the character of John Cena, or
Ironically or
WWE.
unironically?
Nah, you don't have to appreciate the John Cena meme that's just gone everywhere all over the internet now.
Which makes it worse for people that don't appreciate it.
Oh, I know. It's great.
That's,
I love watching people get butt mad about something that doesn't matter at all.
It's annoying. Butt mad.
Are you getting butt mag, Doug?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Alrighty. So that was your day today? It was just a wrestling match?
Mm-hmm.
Did you win?
It ended up running so long, and like the DM didn't prepare for it long enough, so everyone ended up just getting sick of it except for me. So I guess I was sort of declared the winner because everyone else got sick of it except for me.
You won a luchador battle of attrition.
Kind of, yeah. Like the
Oh.
only person besides me who built their character really well was the only one who like I had a standoff with, and it ended up like with us going back and forth and him tagging out while I was grappling him because we were stuck in his corner. And he was able to reach his partner and tag. So I'm like, okay, well, according to the rules, I have to let him switch now.
So,
Alright.
I don't think that was handled very well. He should have just had the results be decided at the next month's pay-per-view event.
He had a bunch of stuff. Like I was a Totori monk, which is like really focused around grappling, and he had a kata monk, which was like you get some swashbuckler deeds. So he was basically using his key points every turn to counterattack my counterattacks and get extra counterattacks on top of it.
I see.
And he was rolling really well to get out of my grapples too. But anyways,
So that was your day. Dak, how was your day? Or 2 weeks?
Busy, surprisingly.
Want to talk about it?
I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that I kind of don't want to talk about.
ooh,
Okay.
secret. He's got a secret.
Well, not really.
Wait, are you trying to tell me he's the Terminator?
I'm not sure how
Come
that
with
came
me if you
about.
want to live.
No, he's busy working on our next big thing, which I'm titling Project Beer.
I like that.
That's the code name.
Project Beer.
Oh yeah.
Project Beer
Except
Money.
it was more like Project Vodka, but
Who's really
What
I
about
think
whiskey?
I think Project Beer rolls off the tongue a little better.
Can we do whiskey instead?
No. You're not even a part of it. Shut up, you. Get back in your box.
All I do is come up with the code names.
box. Unless it's that new box from Metal Gear Solid Online, that looks cool.
What about the new box
Doing all
in
the
Team
flips
Fortress
and slides
2?
and shits.
Yeah, what about the new box from Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain?
Looks silly.
Doesn't it?
It's awesome.
I somehow have rocket boosters on my shoes that allow me to dive out of this box at fucking light speed. Check me out.
Slide down a hill in it.
Belly flopping boxes.
Aside from that, I have been sick
Uh-oh.
That sucks.
for like a week.
Did you catch my conitis?
Nah, it's like some kind of a stomach bug.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I
You're
haven't
you're
really-
over it though, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank
yeah.
God.
I haven't done much of anything else aside from World of Warships, which I've been playing a not insignificant amount of. Doing stupid, ludicrous shit because I don't really understand the game very well. Like, I understand it more than Dr.Captain.
Hey, just because you knew about the fucking button to turn off your secondaries.
10 times 0 is still 0.
Oh, man. Dude, World of Warships made my day turn around yesterday. I'm not gonna go into the full details, but I felt pretty shitty for, kind of reasons, and World of Warships helped an awful lot. So this one guy in a destroyer tried to, like, come straight up at me. Like, he was coming around an island, and I'm in a battleship, right? So he gets the idea to try and ram me. And I'm waiting for my guns to reload.
This sounds like a bad idea on his part.
It is, because surprisingly enough, I managed to survive him ramming me, got the score, and then turned around and looked at his best friend, who was probably, like, stuck in a awe moment.
He probably didn't want to fire at you until there was a clear victor, and by then you had already made another course of action to
Pretty much.
aim at him.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing that I really... Well, there's a number of things that I really dislike about the battleships in the game, but the major thing that I really dislike about the battleships in World of Warships...
It takes forever to get places. I mean, it makes
ship
sense.
turns faster than your guns, typically.
Yeah.
Your turrets turn so slowly.
That's not supposed to happen.
180 degrees can take like 37 seconds on the Wyoming,
Mm-hmm.
if memory serves correct.
That can't be
Yep.
accurate.
It's close enough that it's not really being argued.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm even willing to say maybe it's just a beta thing. Like when they actually open it up, they'll probably like fine tune it even more.
Well, obviously they're going to have to do some balancing because they're not really holding the mechanics of the game hostage to reality like Gaijin would do with War Thunder.
Oh God,
Like realistic mode and simulator mode in War Thunder is pretty much accurate. Like these planes had this armament, they had this loadout, they could carry these varying amounts of fuel, they could do this, they could do that.
Except for those fucking biplanes that are basically made out of paper, somehow colliding with you, sending you completely off course, and they survive and just keep going.
Yeah, usually I attribute to that sort of thing to a lag scenario or a packet loss, but it does happen. They try though, and that's the key point. Whereas Wargaming seems more interested in like arcadey, fast action balance.
Yeah.
Like these guys are good at this, but these guys can do this. And it really is like a rock, paper, scissors shit show. Like
Sounds fun.
The battleships are kind of the biggest, baddest motherfuckers in the valley, but destroyers eat their lunch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Japanese destroyers can drop torpedoes from further away than you can detect the ship is even there, which means it's not there.
Actually, all right. Since you're kind of bringing up the whole rock paper scissors element to it, which would you honestly say like trumps battleships more, the destroyers or the fucking carriers with torpedo bombers?
That is going to depend entirely upon the team makeup and whether or not the cruisers on the enemy or on the battleship side have significant anti-air.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Blood Crow early this morning play some Mortal Warships in his carrier,
Right.
and he went down rather early in one of his matches because he got dumb
Mm-hmm.
and stopped paying attention. So he zoomed in on our team's Omaha, and the enemy carrier was a Tier 4 Langley. The Omaha is a Tier 5 cruiser that has like a 30 or a 40 anti-aircraft score, plus it's got the dispersion fire consumable.
Right.
And this guy sent 2 full squadrons of planes over the Omaha. Like, he wasn't even really targeting the Omaha. And the Omaha laid waste to
It was
all
just
12
like,
of these planes.
Oh, look, lunch.
Pretty much. It was like, oh, look, a stupid CV doesn't realize I'm in an Omaha. Splat, there goes your Air Force. Well, your naval fighters. But, you know, there goes your air power.
Right.
GG. No re.
And it's pretty ludicrous. Like, there are some cruisers that just... Like, if the battleship has good cruiser support, then the battleship needs to be afraid of destroyers more than a carrier. A smart carrier won't even fly his planes over that grouping of ships.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even over to get to the, you know, to the other team's carrier. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like, you do not want to put your planes into that kind of crossfire.
Very vulnerable.
But as far as the overall rock, paper, scissors dynamic, like, the Japanese destroyers are the most scary thing to a battleship.
Yeah.
Period. They
Like-
drop torps from far enough away that you don't even see the ship.
Jesus Christ, I fucking fell victim to that a couple times.
Whereas with the torp planes, you will always see them before they drop torps. So there's an advantage there where you can
Kind of steer towards them.
commit your rudder to
Yeah.
a turn before they get torps in the water.
God, for my fucking interaction using the torpedo bombers, it doesn't even seem like there's that great of a way to position your aiming right. I could be wrong because I never.
It's just that you don't really know what you're doing with the
Yeah.
carrier.
No, I'm fine with saying that.
No.
Because I know you can manually aim it, maybe even get it close to
You
where.
have to manually aim it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Using the automatic aim is only going to work if you're using a Japanese carrier that's got 3 or more torpedo bomber squadrons.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
If you're using a U.S. carrier like the Langley, where you've only got 1 torpedo squadron with 6 planes in it, you must manually aim or you will miss 5 out of 6 shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the one thing I've had trouble when it comes to like the manually aiming is maybe positioning just right. Like it seems like every time I try to get my squad in, it's not so much like Here's kind of like the problem I seem to notice. Like, I'm coming in from the west, and I kind of see like the ship is already trying to turn to me. So what I want to try and do is stop their action, have them come around from, say, the north or the south rather, so that I can be, reintroduced to their broadside. And I've yet to find out how to easily pull that off.
Click.
No, but that's the thing though. Every time I wind up clicking, even to like try to do the manual aim, they still engage from the west.
Then you have failed.
I guess so.
If they enter the engagement zone, it's too late to adjust their fire.
Okay, I see then.
So
You really have to prepare that shit before time?
Absolutely, yeah. If they begin their dive, you can't change their aim.
Gotcha. Okay then.
So like when you're looking at the manual aim reticle, you have a green bar that tells you where the torps are going to go. Around that, you've got a white outline circle.
Yep.
If they enter that white outline circle, that is the engagement zone. They will begin their drop there.
Okay.
And you cannot adjust them.
All right
You
then.
must line them up outside of that.
Okay then. All right. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle.
So like
Copyright
I said,
infringement.
I don't understand much of this game, but I know more than Dr.Captain. But that's not saying a whole lot, because he has yet to figure out things as P turns off your secondary armament.
You're saying I have to pee on the keyboard to turn this off?
The letter P.
Well, I'm glad.
In my defense, though, that button would never cross my mind, considering I'm always usually in a cruiser or a fucking a battleship.
I have to say, in a destroyer, that button is your best friend.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing you pointed out to me when I did try out the destroyer.
Right. Like I don't know if any of our listeners care to hear more about World of Warships, but if you're in a destroyer and you're trying to run away from someone or engage someone, you have a smoke generator, which conceals where you're at, unless the enemy aircraft has planes flying over you and you forgot to turn off your anti-aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you're opening fire on shit and people can hear and thus detect where you are.
Here, or even just see you on the fucking map.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically that's what happens. In the game, it's... You've gone from invisible to visible in your smoke cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad. And if you do this, then God help you.
I got a fair number of destroyers from that, actually.
I have too. I'm usually the carrier that's flying my fighter group over the destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, no, I don't want these guys coming to me. Everybody else, they're in that area of the map over there. No one's going over there. I'm gonna fly my fighter over there. Everyone see that destroyer? Oh yeah, now people are beginning to converge. Okay.
Alrighty. So.
But that is what I've been up to, is playing quite a bit of World of Warships.
You're still in tier 4, or what's your tier right now?
The highest I've got is the tier 6 U.S. carrier.
Okay.
Alright. So tell us
So
about
Anime
your Weeb convention.
So Anime Expo.
I was trying to put this off with pulling the TKO and talking as much as I could about World of Warships and Cosmic War Thunder. But I can't delay this pain any longer, so...
Oh, man. Do you want to go first, Dan, or should I?
I mean, you guys
I don't
should
know,
just keep trading off. You were both there.
I guess so, yeah. Well, I had a horrible time there. Like, you know what? The fucking convention was loud as fuck. I didn't really care about anime. There was a bunch of weird people showing out their fucking, like, Shota, waifu, husbando, weird bullshit. But, I guess I can understand why people like it.
I don't think you have the right tone for this speech you're going on.
I'm very
I'm actually putting it...
uncomfortable about this.
It's okay. I'm trying to, get a nice little jab at fucking Polygon for that rock band
You
interview.
weren't nearly... you didn't nearly sound pretentious and quote-unquote professional enough in your tone.
Oh, wait a second. Would this be pretentious stuff? I really didn't enjoy Anime
Too
Expo.
pretentious.
Oh, too pretentious? Shit.
You gotta work on that.
I guess so. But yeah, it was kind of fun being there. We actually saw a couple of game presentation shit there, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we got into the 3 major... Oh boy, what's going on?
The beauty of chat. Oh, that's funny.
I almost got a fedora.
That's funny.
I don't know.
I almost did. No lie.
I thought you already owned one or two.
Just this one over here that's from like Disneyland.
So what about that one over there?
I don't count that one.
Okay.
It's fucking plastic, dude. What do you want?
Oh, well,
It's like a New Year's Eve fucking thing. I don't even know why the fuck it's still here.
Because you're lazy as fuck.
Good enough reason.
It's the only reason. There's no other reason why that's there. You don't care to keep it. You wouldn't mind if someone took it and put it out of your misery.
I don't know, maybe.
Or
are you gonna
you're
do
a
something about
hoarder.
it?
That works too. That's another reason.
Oh,
One
man.
of the two would be your only reason.
God, though, kind of going back on the chat room. Yeah, Jesus Christ, there were tons of fucking katanas there. What sucked, because I really wanted to go there and, like, pick up a sword. But again, all there was just a bunch of katanas and, like, cheaply made replica swords.
Well,
What
yeah.
do you need a fucking sword for?
Why not?
Stab someone.
What-
Or more accurately, cut them in half if you know what you're doing.
You have plenty of
Okay.
knives, though.
Have you ever done this?
Nah.
Do you plan to?
No.
But what if I
But
need
that would
to?
be a reason.
I suppose you're going off of the I'd rather have it and not need it aspect.
For someone else, not for me.
And dude,
Like, I
Deg,
don't-
like, come on.
I can agree with that point of view. It doesn't apply to me, though.
And Deg, come on. Are you telling me you wouldn't want to fucking, like, carry around the Sword of Ohms from Thundercats?
Except you can't fucking carry it around outside of your home.
Well, you want to carry it, you'd have it sheathed in your back, dude.
You
In
still
California.
can't have that in California.
In some states.
As long as it's not concealed, you're fine.
It is a blade
Yeah.
greater than 4 inches. Welcome to fucking weapons felony.
I'm
Now,
pretty sure I
I've
recall
talked
hearing-
with an
yeah.
officer about this. As long as you're not pointing it at anyone, they
My
can't
buddy
do
had a
anything to
fucking
you.
baton in his trunk and got a fucking weapons felony in California.
That's technically concealed.
It's also not in arm's reach and thus not on him.
Anybody that's in law
Yeah.
who wants
Yeah.
to correct us
Was he-
here.
You're
Was
gonna
he
be
an
running a lot of risks.
was
by
he in
carrying-
Irvine?
By carrying a fucking sword on your backpack.
Yeah.
Was he in Irvine?
I'm not sure if Irvine is where he got pinched.
Okay.
Could have been Irvine.
Because that would
Ooh,
make sense
yeah.
if it was Irvine. Because in Irvine, the cops apply a liberal application of bullshit to the law just so they have a reason to pull you in and do something. Because
Well, there
there's
was
no
also-
crime there.
There was also the guy that
They just spend
carried
all their
a
time
fucking katana
arresting
into
people for nothing.
Albertsons and stabbed a couple of people and then got shot like 18 times by the cops, leaving it in Irvine. So there's that historical factoid to go on.
Meh. That's like the one thing I've ever heard of happening in Irvine, besides people getting harassed by the cops because there's nothing else happening there.
Yeah, no, they actually like had a purpose for being there. This guy went fucking psycho and took a number of bullets before he dropped.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, just fucking A. Yeah, it's a lot of those replica swords were. Dude, I felt like they were just a bunch of like tin with a fancy handle, like they were kind of cheaply made.
Well, if they're making prop replicas, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But as
You have
we
to
were
go to
co-
Little Tokyo for the good swords, anyway.
Oh Jesus, right? I want to go back to Little Tokyo just go to that fucking ramen shop again. That was some good eating. Anyway, yeah, we actually
Ramen
saw
is
some.
terrible, by the way.
It's fucking good. You shut the hell up.
No, it's terrible.
So you shut your whore mouth and stop derailing this.
Would you get on with your fucking weeb story already? We have
Sure,
places
let's
to go.
let's get on with the fucking game.
How many Homestuck cosplayers did you see?
Too
All
many.
of them.
Was there at least one Quap cosplayer?
No.
No,
I didn't
I
see
don't
one.
think I've ever seen that. No, there was a guy whose picture's all over the internet now who was dressed up in a trash can, and it said "Your Waifu" on the
Yeah.
front, and he had a bunch of
I saw
popular
it.
anime girls as pictures all around the trash can. It was great.
Okay.
Oh fucking A. All right, we're getting derailed hard. So yeah, we saw a bunch of like game presentation stuff over there. We want to start off with Namco. That was kind of the first one we went
Yeah,
to.
we went to the 3 major game companies that are there. I started with Namco Bandai. I think I liked their presentation the most, mostly because they had a lot of raffles. They're giving away a shit ton of stuff. Like, I wish we won something
Did they
that we
show
could
off
have given off
Pokken
in the show.
Fighters?
We were close.
No, that's
Did they show off what?
Pokken Fighters?
No, they didn't
that's
show anything off
Tecmo,
there.
isn't it?
Oh, it might be.
Anyway, yeah,
Aren't they owned by Namco? Or am
No,
I
they're
just
showing
insane?
off a lot of their weeb
Oh, I'd be
stuff. You know,
stupid.
Project Cross Zone
Probably.
2 got a new trailer. They're showing off the new Tales of Zestiria, which pretty interesting announcement. They've confirmed not only a PC release for the newest Tales of game, but have confirmed a PC port of Tales of Symphonia.
Which I have still yet to play. I'm a little excited about because that's the one everybody
Yeah.
says is the best.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to get the chance to try that one out.
Supposed to have a pretty good price though, and yeah, they're doing one of those Steam multi-tier pre-order bonus things. The final tier is if enough people pre-order Tales of Zestiria, they all get a copy of Tales of Symphonia for free.
I'm not sure I really like the whole idea that a tier list had to be implemented for the whole pre-order thing. That's just
I don't know.
me.
It's worked a lot for a lot of games out there, and people like it, so why not?
I guess.
Yeah, that they talked about their Sword Art Online games, but
I didn't fucking care.
who wants Dot Hack even more trash anime edition?
Seriously. People out there that like Sword Art, what the fuck's wrong with you? Go watch Dot Hack.
No, better yet, watch Log Horizon.
You shut your whore mouth.
Nah, I'm still waiting on a second season for that.
How long have you been waiting?
Since I finished watching it a couple months ago.
Anyway,
I was late to the party, but
the
it's-
biggest surprise for
as far as
me
video game
was
oriented anime is
oh, you were hyped for
yes,
this.
Namco Bandai finally getting their asses in gear. They've actually confirmed they are localizing Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for the PS4 and Vita. They're finally releasing another Digimon game to the West that isn't absolute shit shovelware.
Dan, you're the only one that cares about Digimon anymore.
Hey, I kind of care. Dude, bringing back a fucking JRPG like that? Did you
Yo.
not play the Digimon games on the PlayStation?
No.
Dude, you
Ah.
missed out. Except for 2. 2 sucked.
I, for one, welcome it considering how Pokemon's been going the way of Yokai Watch and just become terribly kiddie and just incredibly boring to me at this point.
In what sense? The underlying strategy game is still, like, super deep.
Did it not start as incredibly kiddie?
It did, and then it slowly got
I
more
guess you can
complicated.
sort of say that, yeah, since they were like little Tamagotchi watches when they were
No,
first introduced.
Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon or Digimon?
Pokemon.
Oh, right, my bad.
I don't know. I remember playing
It started as a
Blue
seizure-inducing cartoon, right?
Well, video game came first, but
Yeah, the video game.
yeah, I
came
remember in Blue
Talking about the
version.
West. The video game was out here first before the cartoon.
They might have
that's-
launched around the same time here, but the video game originally came first.
All right.
But yeah, I remember Pokemon Red and Blue having trainers that had more than one Pokemon. That's all I can say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember playing through those games and not having a full team that's 10 or 15 levels higher than anything else.
Oh, God. Was there anything else from the Namco? I feel like we're missing something.
Project Cross Zone, the Tales, Sword Art.
Ew.
Yeah, the Digimon localization. That was most of their... They might have mentioned a few visual novel games.
Did we
Them
talk
and
about
Axis.
the crossover?
Yeah, Project Cross.
Okay.
Because
Because I'm looking for that. That's going to be some awesome
Project
shit.
X Cross Zone. I heard the first one was okay, a little mediocre, but let's see if they make the sequel better.
Oh, they usually do.
Yeah, then that there was Axis's big. Axis Games had their panel the next day, and theirs was kind of the most boring for me, just because most of their time was focused on visual novels.
Yeah.
It's
Like, we saw like a couple snippets of Guilty Gear. Did we even get Blaze Blue as well?
Wait, they made visual
no.
novels of those?
I don't know. That might actually interest me more.
No, there was a visual
Blaze
novel
Blue is
that was
practically a visual novel already.
yeah,
It's
there was
story mode.
there was one that was apparently set in the Blaze Blue universe, but not with any of the characters from the fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest announcement was the fact that they're reviving Zero Escape 3. And that's going to be coming to us next summer.
That was the other thing you were hugely hype about. I never did play 999, so I mean, like, help me out here because I want to understand what's the hype.
Yeah, that's about
Well,
it.
the hype
Isn't it a
is
puzzle game?
It was a very story-driven puzzle / novel game.
Wasn't it one of those like escape the room sort of things where you have to keep hunting for shit within a time limit?
Kind of like the
Yeah,
cube or something.
most
I don't know.
of the puzzles didn't have a hard time limit, but like except for the final chapter, really. But it's mostly just point and click puzzle solving. But yeah, the story was huge, and they've got this big trilogy planned. And last we heard was a year or so back that the third game had been shelved due to budget constraints.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come up with this announcement that their game is in development as we speak. It's like I've heard some reception for it so far, and it's a little mixed, mostly due to the. I guess we missed a panel they had with the game's creator, where they actually showed some concept art of the upcoming game, and people are a little afraid that the art style is shifting into a different direction. It's like it's floating around there online. I'm sure somebody can see it, but it's I care more about the story than I do the anime visuals. So
I think kind of like the last thing to get into, what's the name of their company?
We went and saw NIS America's panel. They didn't have anything new to show off, but they were the only company to actually offer a Q&A session.
These are the same guys, for those that don't know, are the people that do Danganronpa and Disgaea.
Oh,
okay.
Criminal Girls, for as much as people hate that.
Those really weeb games.
Yeah, the weebiest of games.
Say what you will, I still want to try Danganronpa.
Oh, I watched the anime. It was pretty decent.
Yeah, and
It was entertaining.
held to the convention. They had Keiji Inafune here to talk about his next new game.
I'll take the lead from there because I actually went to his Q&A and
His
basically
latest thing that's following the thing that's still not complete.
yeah. Crap, where the fuck?
In other words, him
Yeah.
doing another Kickstarter for a Mega Man clone.
Yeah, so right now he's basically announcing that they're going to be working on a new thing, which is going to be a spiritual success for Mega Man Legends called Red Ash.
Yep.
And when I was there at the presentation, we were with another friend of ours, and they mostly showed off concept arts of the different characters, as well as like a sketch of how the anime would play out. And, you know, it kind of seemed alright. Like, it was interesting that they were going to get Studio 4 to, like, have an anime coincide with the game itself. But overall, like, well, one, I'm kind of sitting there thinking, like, dude, Mighty Number 9 hasn't really come out yet. Why are we already on the Kickstarter?
They're still in production. They recently started production on a live action movie for Mighty Number 9, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it's like the game's still not finished.
They've also got the animated series coming in spring.
So is it just this one guy, or is there a...
He has his own development
It's
team.
him and his whole
Development
development
team.
team.
Okay.
Inafune has his own development team, and that's kind of the thing that's really getting.
Concept, isn't it?
Yeah, concept.
So here's one of the things that still kind of like weirds me out even then. Like, okay, yeah, he successfully funded Mighty Number 9, and I guess sure he hasn't really made the profits back yet because again the game hasn't been released. But I don't know. I got this weird idea going in my head, and feel free to correct me. Shouldn't he, at least with the profits that he makes from Mighty Number 9, wouldn't that kind of be enough to help fund maybe Red Ash instead of him having to resort to crowdfunding yet again?
But
Well,
why when he can make extra
absolutely.
more money?
But, well, here's why. The issue with the game development cycle as we know it, like, this isn't really going to be a small-time indie title, right? Like, Mighty Number 9's going to be rather large.
Yeah.
A lot of art assets, a lot of man-hours behind creating this game, right?
Okay.
Red Ash is going to be probably equally large, right?
Yeah.
So before they're finished with this, they need to make sure they have another project to jump right into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're going to be looking at, you know, a 5 to 10 year development cycle after
Yeah.
the first title. Do you want to wait that long if this game ends up being rad?
It's hard to tell,
See,
really.
Mighty Number 9 is amazing, and it sells $1 billion worth of fucking software, and they wait until they have their final sales figures to start making the next game. Next game will be Duke Nukem Forever.
Pretty much.
It will never come out.
I guess that's fair, but the other thing that just still kind of like just leaves a sour taste when it comes to him resorting to crowdfunding is didn't they kind of try to do a crowdfunding to fund for a DLC for Mighty Number 9 as well?
They're milking the crap out of the crowdfunding.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just part of what's, you know, leaving the sour taste. It's just like, good God, do you have to resort to crowdfunding?
Are people actually putting money into it?
They are,
Then they're getting what they're asking for.
I guess.
Yeah, and to add to that, yeah, they'd probably going to use the profits of Mighty Number 9 to, you know, decide if they're going to do a sequel to that. I'm sure Inafune doesn't want to do one and done spiritual successors to Mega Man. I'm sure he wants to continue the series the way he saw
Oh yeah,
it.
Mighty
Well,
Number
sure,
9
I
is
mean-
planned to have sequels.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Look at how many games were in the Mega Man series.
Yeah.
How many were there?
Not only just games, but even just like different styles and assets
Just
of
on
Mega Man
games.
as well.
Just on the title count, how many games in
Well-
the Mega Man series were there?
Like I think like after number 2 or 3, like he wasn't even in charge of it anymore.
Sure, but you think he wouldn't want to repeat the levels of success that that series has enjoyed?
Yeah.
That's true.
I know the main series, like classic style Mega Man, there were like at least a dozen games, but
Easily.
yeah. As a second thought, the Mighty Number 9 comes out in September, if I remember correctly.
So
At this point in development,
the game is done.
at this point in development, they're doing QA.
Okay.
Right.
They're doing bug fixes, and that's about it. There's not much else they're working on with the game, so it's definitely about the right time to start a new project.
Sure, if they had the money to do so, which they're not unless they crowdfund it.
Which they're trying to get another 4 million or something like that.
Or,
Let's see.
pitch the idea to investors and give up creative control of the company, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of wondering how
Yeah,
they.
he's definitely not doing that.
No shit, that's why he's going
That's
crowdfunding.
why he founded Concept.
That's why
Concept,
he's going
yeah.
crowdfunding.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering how they managed to get Studio 4 to go along with this.
Studio 4 Degrees C.
I don't know. That would all be speculation.
Oh, that's fair.
He
enough.
might know somebody. I mean, he got a different studio to. Yeah, Digital Frontier is doing the animated series for Mighty Number 9.
That's different from like getting another investor on board. This is more this isn't our expertise, so this is the company we want to bring on board to do this part of the series.
I'm sure he has plenty of clout to actually talk to the directors and stuff of these studios for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I actually looked up Studio 4 Degrees C on their on Wikipedia and found their filmography.
That's
Probably
okay.
the most famous things they've done are the Berserk movies,
I know they did
Yeah.
the Animatrix.
Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox. Yeah, they provided. I believe it was. Oh no, they provided one of the shorts in the Animatrix as well as
Oh, okay.
2 for Batman Gotham Knight.
Yeah.
Also-
Animatrix wasn't just one team. Each of the shorts.
Oh,
had a
yeah,
different
that's
team.
right.
Yeah, they were
Also, the
completely
part that
different
got
from
me
each other.
interested is apparently they worked on Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Oh, Jesus
The-
And
Christ.
on that note, we'll just
Yeah,
move right
the
along
Thunder-
to the
Yeah.
next article.
What the hell is that?
That's a weird cartoon they had. But they also worked on the Thundercats reboot
Oh, really?
and Transformers Animated.
Okay.
So they have some hits on their schedule, unlike Digital Frontier, who's mostly known for Appleseed. So we'll see what happens with their movie tie-in.
Right on. So, I think Dag actually went ahead. I'll take Dag's advice and we'll move on to another story.
Thank you.
Because that kind of wraps up our time at Anime Expo. It was fun. Totally would love to do it again. I miss Comic-Con.
I need a Vita.
Comic-Con's going on like right now, isn't it?
Yeah, but part of
Yeah,
why
it just started.
part of why we always kind of go to Anime Expo is just it's almost near impossible to get into Comic-Con these days. And I blame Twilight and My Little Pony.
No, I blame the
The
fact.
reason that my niece and nephew are over at my place right now
Comic-Con?
is because my brother and his wife are at Comic-Con.
Oh, joy.
No, I blame the fact that they capped the attendance at 130,000 when I'm sure there's like 500,000 people that want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, but I mean,
And, you know,
like,
they
fire codes and fucking safety
Yeah.
codes and all
I'm
that.
sure they reserve like 50% of that for industry professionals too.
Let's face it, it's California. You're not allowed to stand shoulder to shoulder.
Anyway, so one of our stories that we have here is talking about how Australia's new automatic rating system has actually gone out of its way to ban about 220 games now.
Oh, Australia. Australia is quickly becoming the fucking dystopian, post-apocalyptic fucking
1984,
future
dude.
that our world is headed to if over-government doesn't stop.
Now, I was really wanting to try and find this new list. What sucks is I only managed to find the old one, which I figure we could probably go through a couple of these games.
Yeah, the old one only had like 50 titles on it. and
Yeah,
that
pretty
was
much.
still too much. Like their censorship has gone out of control.
Like, a couple of these things, okay, like 50 Cent Bulletproof, high gore and stuff like that.
Pretty much anything that's a high-profile M-rated game is banned.
Yep.
You know,
Australia
Grand Theft
is-
Auto.
Yeah, if it's rated
Postal.
M
Mhm.
over or if it's rated M over here, it'll be auto banned over there.
And this is where I learned that there was a Reservoir Dogs game.
And even some stuff that's in teen will be banned over there depending on the content.
And it's really sad. Like those poor Australians Have you guys ever seen that movie Equilibrium?
You mean 1984?
That's what Australia is going to become.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Australia for a number of reasons.
Except
Like,
instead
have you
of taking your drug that decreases your emotions, you'll be drinking dingo piss or something. That's what they do over there.
I thought that's what Foster's beer was. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like they'll modify the Foster's formula.
but yeah, have you seen how much they have to pay for hobby-related anything? Like, video games are overpriced as fuck in
But they
Australia.
are across
Well, so
an
does
ocean.
PC hardware and
Yeah, PC hardware,
game
video
consoles
games,
and, like,
freaking
They have to import all that stuff by
Toys.
boat and by plane.
yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
as
by boat is a fairly cheap importation process.
Then I'm assuming most of it comes through plane.
yeah,
'cause
as
otherwise
I've
things-
heard from
Well, most
people
of it
who
goes by boat actually.
Yeah, as I've heard from people who actually live in Australia, the rest of the world likes to pretend that inflation doesn't exist and that the Australian dollar is worth as much now as it was in 1980.
That's not really a pretend thing. I mean, what is Australia's GDP in comparison to the rest?
Yeah, Australia's not really growing.
They don't really produce much of anything aside from worthless money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any natural resources.
Aside
Yeah.
from labor, I guess, but nobody wants a
So-
fucking
They've got land.
drunk Australian.
They got
fucking
a
They've
bunch
got
their
they've got
power.
lots of land.
They got a bunch
Well,
of
they got a lot
wildlife
of
that want.
agriculture too.
They got a bunch of wildlife that wants to kill us.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
got
say they have
big, huge
they have
ranches,
tons of
farms, that
emus.
sort of shit.
Mhm.
Like Australia will never starve.
Man, even The Witcher 2 is on this list.
Yeah.
Isn't
But yeah.
there tits in that game?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Tons of sex.
But yeah.
But it's softcore.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by the
Doesn't
Witcher
matter.
3
In
scenes.
Australia, it's banned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so anyway,
Right.
yeah, just even going through some of the list of stuff that even managed to, change their stuff around. Fucking Fallout 3 apparently was on that ban list for a while, dude.
Oh, but it's off now.
Well, yeah, because they changed stuff around because they're
They
trying
changed the name of the drugs. They
yeah.
used to have morphine in it. Now they call it Med-X.
Yep.
Which is funny because it was always Med-X.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is like
what?
Yeah.
the funny thing too is like it's like, oh well, you're being rewarded by using drugs. I'm going like, dude, this thing fucking heals me. Guess what it does in real life too? Heals me.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
not really.
No, but you
It
also
doesn't heal
you also get addicted to the drugs if you use them often enough in the game, which is pretty realistic.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem I have with this automated system is that unlike actually having a council rate games, it's pretty objective and it's not sensitive to the times or changing public sensitivities. I mean, a lot of things on the old list they actually got rated again during like re-releases and they were approved for release then.
I even think South Park managed to find itself back on that list because didn't they actually get past the censorship by censoring the parts that were bad in itself with the koala?
maybe
They didn't really censor the parts that were bad. They censored the parts that were glorious in living color with an image of a crying fucking koala.
Wow.
Yeah.
but yeah, unless they change the
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow. I
Dude,
have
it's
to
beautiful.
I have to see that.
Google it.
Well, not
I
now.
will later.
South Park.
Australia.
Yeah, unless
Australian
they change the
censorship.
way they moderate content over time, I could see this being incredibly problematic because
It's going to be.
it's a terrible thing. It sounds like it's worse than YouTube's auto detect system.
I'm surprised that the Australian people haven't overthrown their government with how stupid and shitty their government has gotten.
Yeah, I don't know how either because everyone
They're too
there
busy drinking
seems
beer and fucking
it's like
off.
literally everyone seems to hate their prime minister, but he's still in office.
Like, Egypt went to war with their government when they fucking turned the internet off.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe that's what it takes. Turn off Australia's internet.
I think they're just too
I think they're just
geographically
easing into
divided.
it,
Ooh.
is what's happening.
Now, if they
They're-
start getting rid of the beer, then there will be immediate war.
Well, if they start getting rid of the beer, it's not going to be war. It's going to be Armageddon.
Suddenly we're gonna.
pissed off, angry, sober Australians.
Bogans.
You don't even want to talk to one of these people, let alone fight them.
Yeah.
So suddenly we're gonna realize that Australia had a nuclear plant all along. They're gonna launch it at themselves.
Oh. I think the biggest problem with an Australian uprising is to have an actual political protest, they'd have to drive 2 hours to the nearest town.
Kind of.
Seriously, Australia is so geographically divided. It's
I am
terrible.
just kind of like imagining some guy like pulling up to their parliament building and just like with a truck full of dingoes and just letting them out into the building.
Oh boy.
Oh, fucking A. We love you, Australia.
Strap bacon to the pants of the fucking members of government. Say, run, bitches.
Okay.
Whoever wins gets to keep their seat.
So part
Wow.
of the reason that we were kind of bringing up the whole Australia thing is because last episode we were kind of going on about how they already had a entry for censoring Zombie, which was supposed to be the PS4, Xbox One,
Allegedly.
alleged re-release of Zombie U. So that's kind of why we got into it, and lead into the fact that even Zombie has actually found itself in a bit of a censorship list for Taiwan.
Huh.
Yeah.
So look, another country
Yeah,
we don't
another-
care about.
Another country has rated a zombie title by Ubisoft
Well, we
for
care about
PS4
Taiwan.
and
They're important
Xbox
for our
One.
trade.
Once again, Ubisoft has declined to comment.
Isn't that Ubisoft's favorite job?
No, they like
Declining to
making
comment?
memes.
Well, they also like showing us games that don't work right.
Tell
But
me
are
lies, tell me sweet little lies.
So that was like our small little update that we want to go on to. And
Another update.
Oh boy.
Get into this one, Dan.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, 2 weeks ago we mentioned a promotion Destiny was running with Red Bull to add new XP and special missions and junk.
To
Weren't
which
we
dying.
mentioning how easy it was gonna be to just snap pictures of the cans with
Oh,
your
it's
phone?
easier
Yeah.
than
Oh,
that.
it's easier
Well,
than that.
It is, yes.
Yes, apparently, like, for those who know, it's similar to the scandal that happened with registering Wii Minis on Nintendo reward accounts.
Because apparently the serial codes have a really specific pattern that's easy to follow.
Yeah, it's a simple enough pattern that you could change one number and get it right almost instantly.
And the problem herein is that they're all valid codes.
Yeah.
So some poor schlub is gonna go pull a Red Bull off a shelf, get back home,
Oh,
and
tons
think,
of people.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my half hour worth of Destiny 11 with this,
Yep.
and it'll not be valid.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, great, you got to drink the Red Bull anyway, so you got what you paid for. So Red Bull's not going to have any problems with lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm
or
surprised Bungie's going to have to respond to this.
anything. Bungie is not gonna have to do a damn thing.
No, this
as
is
their
Microsoft's
history.
fault.
They're
No, not even
gonna do
Microsoft.
fucking jack and shit. How is this Microsoft's fault?
Activision, if
Activision.
anything.
Oh.
Either
What are
way,
you talking
somebody's going to speak
No, you're
up
right,
on
it's
it,
Red
that's
Bull's
for
fault.
sure.
No, it's not.
No?
It's
You're
probably
already getting the product that you
Yeah.
paid for.
it's probably Activision that's going to
You're
have to
getting the
pay
Red
for
Bull.
this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
My question is, who determined the serial numbers then?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's
That's
probably
whose fault it is.
It's probably linked to Activision. Since their servers have to generate serial codes and authenticate them. So I'm sure Activision is going to be the one paying for this.
You know what I wish we...
Once again, Activision isn't going to pay jack or shit for this.
They could. They
You
have
know-
the money
They're
to.
going to lose publicity.
You know what? The publicity
EA
they
was
didn't already
voted
have.
Worst company in the fucking world 2 years in a row, and they're still the largest fucking publisher. Activision is not going to sweat from this.
Yeah.
Because for some reason
Okay.
people like gobbling up from EA's asshole. I don't get
Sure.
it.
They give you free shit now.
Oh, man.
Literally.
I don't know, Puma. I'd have to argue with you. I wouldn't say Bungie would do that, but I would totally believe that Activision would force you to drink piss to get free
The
swag.
Doritos Pope.
You know what? I'm a little sad right now that we didn't actually grab an update from Techland, Deep Silver.
Which one?
Dying Light, because remember they're
Dying Light did the thing for,
For-
drinking water
Yeah.
to get DLC.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That
I'm
was fun
sad
as
we didn't
hell.
get an update on that.
Oh, right. Well, it was a total joke.
No, it
It was legit.
No, it was legit. And the
Yeah.
more people that did it, the better the rewards got.
That's fucking scary. Wasn't there a radio show a while ago that had a contest of who could drink the most water to get something, and some chick died?
No,
Well,
it's
not amount
yeah.
of
It was
water.
just you tweet yourself
Drinking water.
a picture of drinking water from something.
Yeah, it's It's like the number of people who do that, not the number of
yeah.
glasses of water drink.
You know, how badly do you think Californians got triggered by that? Us and our drought. God damn.
You just had to take a picture with the water. You didn't have to actually drink it.
Doesn't matter, man. They got water and we don't.
I blame the ice bucket challenge.
Oh, that was definitely part of it.
Anyway, the other thing that we got here on one of our
Speaking of
earlier-
EA,
Yeah. So EA is actually saying that they will no longer be bringing out Dragon Age Inquisition DLCs for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
they're fighting to regain their title.
What?
Yup.
Oh,
No more DLCs for the old systems. You need to get a new one now. God damn you.
Whatever. If it's extra work that they don't want to do to support last gen shit, it
Yeah.
had to happen at some point.
it's like on the
Yeah.
plus
Yeah,
side.
but in the middle of them
No one's
rolling out
currently
DLC.
making PS2 games or.
But in the middle of them rolling out DLC is what gets me about this. It's like there's been some DLC for it already. There's going to continue being DLC for it for PC and the newer systems. We're just stopping in the middle of the DLC production.
We're just not gonna do the extra work it takes to port this shit over to the fucking PS3 cell.
It's like,
Or the
and
360's fucking underpowered bullshit.
I'm assuming there was probably a season pass for their DLC too, so that the Xbox 360 and PS3 people are going to get shafted on that.
I wonder if the
Everyone does season passes
I
now.
wonder if the 360 or the PS3 had access to EA Access or whatever the hell.
I don't think so.
Not that I recall.
Oh, the paid demos.
The
System?
subscription service that they had.
Play it
for-
first.
Yeah.
for
There-
demos and DLCs and that sort of shit.
Look on the
Anyway.
bright side, though. At least they have an option for you to port your last gen saves over to the next gen copies of the game.
Well, you could not have that.
It's like,
Anyway, so moving it right along from EA. So there's definitely been some talks with Phantom Pains for a moment, saying that there's actually going to be some downgrading going on with it.
yep, that seems to be the new buzzword this year is
Downgrading.
downgrade.
Yeah, that's not just this year.
Yeah, it started last year, but people are
Started with
becoming more
Bloodborne?
accusatory of it for sure.
Well, dude, since Ubisoft fucked us with Watch Dogs,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
like that was kind of the last straw that people's patience had for being lied to at E3,
Mm-hmm.
because it was kind of one of the biggest fucking flops. Fucking horse dookie bullshit. Fucking Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Fuck.
God, that
Th-
game
those- This is regarding the latest trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. People are accusing them from downgrading it from the E3 build that we
Which is
saw.
kind of bullshit because optimization means downgrading, really.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one of the
oh, your
But we
shitty
also-
little console can't run this at the fucking specs that we originally set it for.
But guys, we're also getting those neat box tricks and Rocket Punch.
yeah, and besides the producer of the game has actually confirmed on Twitter that they're not doing anything aside from tweaking the lighting engine right now. If anything looks different graphically, it's that.
Which is exactly what Dark Souls 2 did and met with furious backlash.
Yeah. Anyway, so since you brought up Ubisoft, it actually seems like Ubisoft has, made it public that, because of the backlash of Watch Dogs, they actually feel they've learned something.
The major problem with Watch Dogs downgrade is the same problem with Dark Souls 2's downgrade. The videos that they were showing people up until launch day were bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm
Like
wondering.
Metal Gear Solid is showing you the progress of the game. Okay, so it might have gotten optimized, it might have gotten a downgrade, but you haven't paid for anything yet. Shut your fucking entitled little cunt.
Yeah, I kind of got to agree with that one. This isn't them lying to us before the game comes out. This is them showing us, okay, we had to make some cutbacks in order to fit all this in there.
Right.
Yeah, that's
this
fair,
this
yeah.
is what the game looks like to keep it at a reasonable frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what's going to happen when people find out that the already shit Star Wars Battlefront is going to be downgraded? Because we know that's gonna happen.
You know, I'm still torn if I really want to play that or not.
No, you don't.
I kind of do.
No.
You might want to play it for the experience of having played it, but
That's
you
probably-
don't want to pay full retail price.
That's
for
true. Yeah.
It's like telling him you might want to get fucked in the ass for the experience of getting fucked in the ass.
it. You
Well,
might wanna
gee,
get
I don't
fucked
know.
In the ass and only have to pay $10 for it as opposed to 60. This is him we're talking about.
Okay, bad analogy.
But anyway, yeah.
Getting stabbed.
Ubisoft saying what we've known since E3, that they're taking it slow now. They're going to actually shoot for having games run on target devices when they show them off.
Hopefully,
Sure, maybe they could shoot for having games run on target devices when they launch.
hopefully with less memes too.
No.
Watch
I'm not letting
Dogs
that go,
fucking
goddammit.
didn't run correctly on target devices. The texture
Yeah.
streaming was broken. You'd be going up a staircase and the stairs just wouldn't fucking be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they've finally gotten enough hate to do something about it, so good for them.
Hooray! Like, Ubisoft is quickly becoming the Molyneux of fucking game development.
That's some strong words. You fucking.
Yeah,
There's
what's
got to be a
Molly-
different.
I don't know, we
comparison.
have...
Nowadays.
Not being believed.
Well, yeah, there's that. But that's always.
Oh, they're good
Anyway.
at dirty lies and making up stupid bullshit. Like, how about that? How about their stance on digital games?
Well, we'll go ahead and actually get into that right after the break.
Sounds
So
good.
we'll go ahead and take ourselves a brief moment. And hey, folks, if you're listening right now, we totally have option for you to call in and give us your opinion on some of the shit that we talk about. You know, just below there's a Skype button that takes you to our Skype account that you should totally, send a friend request so you can get in touch with us at Good Game Guys 1.
Or you could not do that and nobody will judge you.
Dude, they can't see you pointing at your monitor.
They will. They
Come
can
forth.
feel it.
Come forth through the skeep.
So remember, if you guys want to just call up and say, hey, about some of the topics that we've said, fill us in. Maybe you're a cop and you know about the whole fucking carrying a sword in public.
Tell us your wrong opinions, and we will laugh with you.
Okay.
Or at you.
Well, I was thinking about saying that, but then I didn't want to be too mean.
Just remember to go ahead and call
It's
us near.
you.
Just remember to go ahead and call us near the end of the
Trying
show
to be a
and
better
let me
person.
know that you're an actual person,
Shouldn't.
because you won't
You made
you
me
won't
sad.
believe how many fucking bots try and send
Back
us a
off.
friend request.
Thank you.
Well, that said, we'll be right back after this little brief moment.
Aw, aw.
Alrighty, and we are back. A little later than expected. We were kind of in a heated conversation about giant robots.
Right.
Those are important. They're happening.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
yeah.
chicks
I mean,
dig giant robots.
somebody mentioned that this was actually going to go on,
1 year.
and then it became a logistical discussion. Like, how is
Yeah.
this going to work? How many people are going to get hurt in the audience?
Nah.
Well, I imagine they just have like it somewhere
like
in the
a-
middle of the desert, and they just
Yeah.
have drones.
It's like, what
recording.
network is going to televise it?
Mm.
Oh, this is going to be on every channel.
Yeah, but if one of them gets exclusive broadcasting rights, they'd be in the money.
Watch it end up being on Spike.
Dude, Spike or ESPN? I could see either of those two.
I'm imagining Fox or NBC, maybe CBS.
Hopefully Discovery Channel.
Right. Anyway, we were saying before the break that we actually had another bit of Ubisoft news going on. And we'll go ahead and get into that. And I already see a couple people want to try and call in. We will take your calls about near the end of the show.
All right. Well, nearer than we
Yeah.
are, I guess.
Yeah, nearer than we are.
But yeah, the Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot actually answered a question that people have been wondering for a while.
He didn't answer shit.
No, he gave his explanation as to why Ubisoft's games are so expensive digitally when their physical counterparts go on sale for much less.
It's
Oh,
not just
Nintendo
Ubisoft
had to
that
deal
does
with
that.
this question too.
We actually have that up as well. We figured we'd get into that after we
They-
deal with
They
Ubisoft.
didn't really answer either.
Well, they gave their excuse, and their excuse is brilliant.
Yeah, I thought...
They gave PR juggling.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and say what Ubisoft said, because I got a question in relation to that.
Yeah, the long and short of it is based on the fact that the physical product will sell out and become more scarce as time goes on, but the digital game is always there, so it retains value a lot better than the physical product
So,
in his mind.
Here's the thing that kind of blows my mind isn't that the exact reverse of supply and demand? I mean, isn't the whole idea of this shit's rare, I'm going to charge it because it's that much harder to find it? Isn't that like the idea of how that's supposed to work out?
Yeah, he also says
Like,
that
like,
digital games are a little more inelastic, that they don't react as fast as physical products do.
That's fucking bullshit.
It's like he isn't saying that there's no point in which Ubisoft games will ever go on sale digitally. He's just saying that they won't depreciate the way physical games do.
Yeah,
Well-
that makes sense.
There's inventory risk involved with physical copies of games. Like
And
a-
that has to do
Yeah.
with what Nintendo's explanation for it was.
Yeah, like a GameStop will buy so many copies of this game ahead of time and stock it in a warehouse and ship it out to, their individual stores or whatever. And they're going to have to put shit on sale if they're keeping too much stock on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
However, the MSRP doesn't change. The manufacturer's suggested retail price of just about anything is typically static.
So are you mostly just saying that this is probably more of the short term? Because I'm still looking at the explanation that I gave out where, say that Back to the Future DeLorean model that I have sitting right there on top of the TV, that's going to be like a one of a kind deal right there, and I'm going to charge the living hell out of it if you want it.
Oh, sure. And for the right collector at the right price, you might make a pretty profit.
Sure.
But you're willing to keep it on the shelf and not sell it because you have nothing else to put there.
Yeah, we're speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, most of this argument is speaking specifically on the retail standpoint, not the
Right.
gray market of collectors shops and
That's fair. I am kind of taking it to another level, but
it's
I think I do think there is some validity to it.
Somewhat to a point, but
Okay.
not in the retail market.
Scarcity can increase demand, but it doesn't necessarily form it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I mean, let's face it, it's not a matter of scarcity at all. Like the Ubisoft guy was talking shit.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, hey, I'm a retailer. I'm a big brick and mortar store. I have this much room in my store for this many items that fucking sell. If this item is not selling, I drop its price and fucking take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alrighty then. So, as I did say, we did actually have Nintendo's explanation on it as well.
Yeah.
And did you want to go ahead and take that one, River?
Well, we've been over most of it, but I mean, yeah, there's the risk of having physical inventory that, you know, not all the profits going to Nintendo as well. It's going to the retailer as well.
Sure.
Well, all of the profit that was going to go to Nintendo has already gone to Nintendo.
Yeah, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually make less money off of it than the digital copy.
Right. Well, the retailers don't work on consignment.
Yeah.
I mean, they might go with like a 10 net 30 or a 5 net 30 or whatever sort of payment plan, but they're getting the full value. They're not getting the MSRP, but they're getting the full wholesale value on whatever product, no matter how much the store decides to sell it for.
Mm-hmm.
On digital, when people are running their own servers, like Nintendo is running their own servers, the MSRP never changes.
Yeah, and it,
Like, hey, this game that came out 8 years ago that you still want, it's still here, but you're paying full retail on it. Because there is no limitation to how much of it can be
for the virtual
stored.
console stuff. No, that stuff's much lower priced than.
Or Ubisoft
used
or
to be.
EA
Well-
or whichever other service out there that isn't quite so glorious as Steam.
Yeah, not accounting for some places have pretty much every digital retailer has sales. Not with the frequency of Steam though.
Most
Yeah.
first-party guys, like the PlayStation Network, the Xbox Live Store,
Nintendo
they'll do
eShop.
sales every now and again,
Mm-hmm.
but they're, like you said, very infrequent.
They're
Mhm.
infrequent and
And
their
they're not
discounts,
permanent.
Yeah, and their discounts aren't typically very notable.
Yeah, that
Right.
there's a phenomenon I've noticed exclusively with Nintendo games that I don't know whether to blame the publisher themselves, the retailers, or the audience, but Nintendo games rarely depreciate at all. Like, if you've ever gone into a GameStop and looked, a copy of Super Mario Galaxy is still like $25-$30.
Oh yeah.
However many
Oh, dude.
years later it's been.
A fucking isn't some of the 3DS titles still at their full initial price right now, like at $40?
Yeah, it's like
Because they're quality products.
Yeah.
it's like I
The
can't. I'm not.
demand for them still exists.
Yeah, I'm
People are
not-
still paying that price for them.
I'm not going to say what what's it's accountable for, but yeah, Nintendo games don't appreciate at all in the retail space. They stay at a high price for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Other M. That went down to $20 like instantly.
Well, who knows? Maybe this will even go up somewhere along the lines too for the overseas price. So,
That is something that kind of bothers me, though, as far as the digital services. Like, I'm not trying to defend any of them. I actually despise the practice of keeping prices high. For instance, on Origin, through EA's service, if you will, the Mass Effect 2 DLCs, like the Citadel and all that shit,
yeah,
are still going at full price, and we're getting to the point where we're
already going to make a
actually
fourth one.
talking about
Yeah.
Mass Effect 4.
It doesn't bother me as much for Nintendo. Probably, well, one, I'm biased towards them, but two, they also have free online, and probably most of that profit's going towards, funding that.
Fair, I guess. Not really, kind of.
Well, I mean,
not most,
I
but a
think even-
sizable chunk of it.
I think even to kind of go on Deg's side a little bit, like, here's the thing that we're talking about. We're talking about Origin, like the PC version of
Yeah.
Right.
Mass Effect. That's going to be free, period, even though I'm pretty sure Mass Effect 2 didn't even have online play
Well,
to begin with.
That's
Right.
a bit different because, like, for some PC stuff, you don't really need a separate server. You can just connect host to host. It's a more powerful system.
Well, there's that for like the shittier titles out there, but the more complicated ones, like let's take a look at all of Battlefield. It's still server
Mm-hmm.
based,
Oh.
so you get way less magic bullet in Battlefield than you do in Call of Duty, for instance.
Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Still happens due to packet loss or what have you, but it's far more rare.
So, the one thing that I was going to lead into after we talk about Nintendo's response to the whole situation, River, I think this one you were kind of feeling some of the hurt on, weren't you, for Devil's Third?
Oh, yeah. I'm not crazy about Itagaki, but, like, the game looked fun. And then, wasn't this the same one with that ridiculous, like,
Disaster.
customizable multiplayer?
Oh, right, yeah.
with,
Where you-
where like the premise is like you're basically a bunch of gangs controlling different parts of the world.
Yeah, and I
because-
remember
because
one
all
of
the satellites got knocked out.
I remember one of the weapons was supposed to be like a fucking airdrop of propaganda posters that you
Yeah.
could actually customize.
Yeah, you can customize them for your clan.
Seems like
And
a
it, like,
different
plasters
game
you-
to me.
No, that was the same game.
Sure,
Yeah,
where was that?
That's
It was the multiplayer
It's the
ver-
multiplayer
yeah.
mode for Devil's Third.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
Well,
But there
you're
was
not
a
gonna
bu-
have to because we're not getting the game.
Pretty much.
Well, no, it seems like we are getting the game, just not for the Wii U. It looks like Nintendo has dropped the production for it.
Oh, I see.
And so someone else is free to pick it up, or they might already be in cahoots with someone else to do it.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's what it looks like.
So, yeah.
Nothing's been confirmed or denied.
Yeah,
about
these
it yet.
reports are coming from a YouTube video
Oh.
from someone who's famous for uncovering vaporware titles and other like games that nobody's ended up seeing the light of day.
I see. So why are we reporting an opinion piece as the news?
Well,
It's not so much an opinion piece because there actually is some of the stuff going on with Devil's Third right now.
All right.
Yeah, it's reports that it was completely absent from Nintendo's E3 website as a whole, despite all their other upcoming games being on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's writing on the wall that this game isn't going to make it, and yeah, according to the YouTube video of people in Europe who have actually gotten early review copies and their hands on the game, they've said it's a terribly subpar game, and Nintendo
Really?
is incredibly right for dropping it.
Oh, well,
'Cause,
if,
yeah.
if Itagaki never did anything else besides what they've showed so far and didn't pursue the multiplayer to the extent that it was supposed to be, then I can understand Nintendo dropping that
Yeah,
completely.
Just being like a subpar game altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Alright.
was a quote about it. I think it was Reggie Fils-Aimé that said it, that the game wasn't living up to the quality standards of Nintendo, and they had no word. But yeah, everyone who'd gotten their hands on the game said the graphics looked terrible, the frame rate was awful, the gameplay was fickle as hell. Like, one of the quotes in the video was that it looked like a game made 2 generations ago.
Wow.
Hmm.
Like, I've been hating on Nintendo lately for not staying true to their series, but like, even if it's something like Federation Force, it's gonna be something that's fun to play.
So yeah, if Nintendo is dropping a game because it looks like a piece of shit, more power to them.
Fair enough. I mean, God, remember the Wii U being nothing but a bunch of shovelware? I mean, not the Wii U, but the
The
Wii.
Wii, yeah.
The Wii.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm
A
glad
chicken
I'm
shoot.
glad they cut down on that for the Wii U.
What was that one zombie game?
Zombie U?
Oh yeah,
No,
we
no,
were
no,
gonna talk about
the
that.
shit zombie game that Sterling did a.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
slaughtering.
right,
guy.
the slaughtering guy.
That, yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to get into that?
Christ.
I guess.
Oh,
Do we have to?
I kind of want to
Not
because
really.
it,
I mean, like, I don't really care much about Jim Sterling,
yeah.
but the game itself
Oh yeah, it was.
was trash.
We've mentioned it before on the show.
It was trash.
It's a result of the terrible systems put in place with Steam Early Access and
It
Steam
was like
Greenlight.
originally $10 a pop, and then it was like, oh, once someone called him out on his bullshit, no, okay, we're dropping the price down to $3 because we don't want to feel like people are getting screwed over.
I think
for
it's
what they
99.
paid
Yeah, I believe
us.
there
I
was.
think it's 99 cents now
Yeah.
from what they were saying.
And then they dropped it down to 99
Oh yeah, and
cents.
don't forget the PR stunt where they offered a free key to the game to anyone who would give them a negative review, and then subsequently banned all those people who gave them negative reviews.
Yep.
Right.
But the thing,
And then there was the review of the review of the
Yeah.
review.
so that's
Well,
it.
right.
So that's the history of it, and now here we are with Jim Sterling and the developer of the fucking
The
shit
shit game.
grounds.
Getting into a shit flinging contest.
Shit.
Pretty much on like
I called it an internet baby slap fight.
Yeah,
Basically.
kinda. And
I
it wasn't.
mean,
It wasn't
it's
entertaining.
the Special
It's
Olympics.
equivalent.
It wasn't entertaining.
Even
Listen.
if Jim fucking Sterling's son wins the fucking argument, he's still retarded.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did any of you guys actually listen to that?
I
that
listened
podcast?
to like 3 minutes of it before I could no longer stand that Pud's voice.
Oh, I fucking.
I've heard
I
enough
sat through
about
the
it.
entire thing.
I've
I-
heard enough about it, and I've
listened
seen
to as much as I could
some
stomach.
clips.
I really
don't-
don't like Jim Sterling.
I don't blame you. Like I totally understand. Like I don't. I'm not a.
Like, he might be an awesome guy. I'm not saying that I hate him as an individual. I just don't like his style. I don't like
Yeah.
his show. I don't. It just. It's a chore to listen to for me.
That's fair. And just kind of listening through the entire podcast, or yeah, I could say podcast, little like Frost Nixon debate sort of
blurbs.
situation.
Yeah, sure.
It was entertaining hearing like the developer who won to me just had like this weird I'm fucking drunk during this interview kind of a vibe to him. Like I won't say he was straight up slurring his words, but he was kind of stumbling almost as bad as I am right now.
I mentioned the Special Olympics, right?
Pretty much.
Guy sounds like super fucking autistic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
But
know
no-
what to expect from him. I mean, after all of this, he has literally nothing to lose.
Well, pretty much the other thing too is like
You may as well just keep the shit show going because
yeah.
bad press is still good press.
Here's the entertaining thing that was going on through it though, because at a certain point he was trying to pull his tactics on trying to argue against Sterling was saying stuff like, well, Sterling rips off images from Google to put up on his video or something like that. So, you know, we're not so different, you and I. Why is it bad when I do it for my blood splatter, but you can do it for your like, that's what the developer was fucking arguing. To try and, like, say, you know,
He was bringing up shit that they both do to simultaneously put himself down.
So, in other words, more logical fallacies
Oh,
to
yeah.
continue the dog and pony show.
I don't know about to straight up continue it.
Oh yeah.
No, he's keeping the
Oh,
shit
okay.
show
You know
going. If it's sounding like that, unless
yeah.
he's coming
Okay,
on
yeah,
to
yeah.
actually apologize and say he'll
No,
improve,
no,
then
You know, that's kind of the thing that happened at the end is that they actually did kind of apologize and sort of made up.
apologize
He's-
for which
he's
part?
still trying to keep the press train rolling
Yeah.
because like he has made the shittiest product known to man
Mm-hmm.
that is still selling based upon all of this publicity. You know, you can be damn well sure that 99-cent move
Mhm.
was to allow the people that wanted to see how fucking bad it really is
Oh,
to
yeah.
do so on the cheap.
Yeah.
They probably sold more at 99 cents than
That was definitely one of the things he
This
was
is
claiming.
the same
That
shit
was
about
something-
Hatred. Only Hatred actually looked kind of entertaining.
Mhm.
Hatred was still a fun-looking title.
Yeah.
It
was
may not
actually-
have been good, but it still may have been fun to play.
Do you want to know?
And it didn't look like complete shit.
Do you want to know like another thing that happened in that interview as well? I think probably way later than the 3 minutes you listened. Later, shocking, right?
Right?
No. What wound up happening is this guy is trying to say like Jim totally was organizing like his fans to go fucking attack him and stuff like that, which was utter bullshit. And his fucking I gotcha moment was he took one of the old episodes of the fucking Jinquisition and quoted like one of the beginning because you know like Jim Sterling does like these fucking like little satirical things where I'm a evil mad scientist
Right.
overlord something like that. And one of the things that opened up was like, hey, I didn't notice you there. I was busy, genetically engineering, brain dead followers to do my every evil whim, something like that. And this guy was fucking using that as evidence of fucking Jim
Okay, so Dad, can
targeting
you give me
him.
that the date that the game went down to 99 cents?
Ah,
'Cause I pulled up the gameplay records, and in April the game jumped from having 2 peak players on Steam to having 106 players. So yeah, his strategy worked. The
I guess
game-
so, yeah.
The game increased, nearly 15,000% in sales by dropping it to 99 cents.
But the question is, did those get refunded back?
I don't know.
Does
It's-
it tell you how long
Yeah.
the average play was? Was it longer than 2 hours?
It gives the average
I don't
number of
think the
players,
game
but not the
lasted
time.
for 2 hours.
I don't
Probably
think
like,
people's patience lasted for 2 hours.
No, I'm serious. Like, as from what I saw of the game, it was literally just like one area. Like you
Sure.
could run around it in like 15 minutes and find everything.
Honestly, a refund process for $1, just lose the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to pull teeth for $1.
But yeah, the game jumped. The game jumped in player base in April and again in June, and it's still higher than it's ever been in terms of player base.
I believe it.
Because
Yeah.
of the press of this shit show.
Yep.
I'm not. I don't really say things like that without having an idea of why they would do it.
Oh, I wasn't
Yeah,
doubting.
I
it.
just wanted to
I
get the
wasn't
numbers.
Just talking shit. Like, no, this is probably what this
I
guy
de-
is doing.
I definitely wasn't doubting it.
Yeah, I just wanted the numbers.
But at the same time, like I listening to this guy, he definitely did kind of strike me as the kid that, is definitely throwing his arms around, going like, well, throwing a temper tantrum at best.
Well, yeah, he has done it long enough that the time for an apology has long since passed. The time for an explanation has long since passed. Those of us that are still paying attention to this want to see it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so
It's nothing but an entertaining shit show anymore.
Exactly. It's like two monkeys in a cage. One's gonna start throwing shit at the other. The other's gonna fucking retaliate. Eventually, they're going to fuck, and then everything's gonna be over. You heard it here first. Jim fucking Sterling's son is going to fuck whoever the developer is.
You can write your fanfic elsewhere. Please leave it out of the show.
all right. So we do have one of our callers here. Hey, Peach.
Yo,
Hey, what up?
Dude, I love your freaking Skype picture.
thanks. It's actually related to what I want to talk about.
Hear him.
Yeah, talking about that Phantom Pain. Let's talk about them games. About the downgrading. Where are people pulling this out of?
It's from the latest gameplay trailer they put up this week.
I watched that trailer.
It didn't
I
look
just
bad.
actually watched it today, and I don't really see what they're talking about.
It's people nitpicking so they can pull out their favorite buzzword.
The
Yeah.
only time there was a downgrade to that game so far was basically the jump from Ground Zeroes to the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the Phantom Pain can't have that same amount of lighting that Ground Zeroes did.
Yeah.
Well, sure, Ground
Yeah.
Zeroes was a finite environment. It wasn't a big open world.
It
Mhm.
was also
Yeah.
a movie.
It was a good movie, though.
Remember your internet logic. If the video game doesn't look exactly the same as you last saw it, it's a downgrade.
Yeah, I don't
Even if
get
it's an
that
upgrade.
mentality.
Yeah, I don't really understand where the whole downgrade conversation is coming from. I mean, originally this was stealth downgraded. Like, we didn't know it was downgraded before we spent money on it. Now it's like we're seeing updates to it as they're happening before we've invested anything. Hey, cool. Kudos on Konami for actually showing us recent progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, even if there was a downgrade, it's truly justified. That game is, from what we're seeing, has so many things going on, and it's actually seems like a game that's next-gen worthy.
And it's also looking like it's going to be a blast to play
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
at full
Yeah,
frame
that's-
rates, which I
Yeah.
would much rather have than a pretty pile of shit that fucking skips like 3 minutes per frame.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Was there anything else you want to say, Peachy?
That's actually I wanted to ask one quick thing.
Sure.
Other than the Phantom Pain, what are you guys looking forward to?
For this year or just in general?
Yeah, just this year.
Huh. Oh, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's happening this year.
That's
Yep.
I
happening in
forgot
September.
about that too.
November.
November.
Yeah, that's
Huh.
really the only thing I'm interested in
I
this
guess
year.
outside of that, though, I don't know if this game is coming out this year. I wish I had the title in front of me, but it was supposed to actually be a spiritual successor of Silent Hills, or PT. I found this on
know what you're
Facebook one
talking
sec.
about.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and search that one up. I'll post up the name of it on Facebook on our Facebook page. So this definitely looks worth it. Check it out.
You let the shilling commence.
Yes. Send us money. We're your PR now. No, but aside from that, yeah, not too much else come to mind. Anybody else here?
Aside from Fallout this year,
Yeah, this year is hard.
Speaking
Close time
speaking
frame.
of Fallout, hopefully Shelter's coming to Android soon, from what I understood.
You know, I've been hearing
think
some
they're
mixed
supposed
things
to-
on that.
I heard that it's supposed to be coming out next month,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure if that was just a rumor or not.
I don't doubt it.
Free to play, and apparently
Yeah.
it's like the greatest mobile game that anyone's played, and it's Fallout.
Well, it also took a top 10 spot in the iTunes
Yeah.
store on the iPhone due to the, I can't really say microtransactions, but they sort of are.
Oh
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
but they're completely optional, and they
are
just
they are completely optional, and it still took top 10.
yeah.
So
And it's really just like a bunch of extra shit that you could normally get in game.
right. So that tells you something about the game. Dawn has it on her iPhone, and she was showing it to me, and it's
Yeah.
like, I
If you had an iPhone, you'd totally play it.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't say I want an iPhone,
but you're willing to play it when it gets to Android.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hands down. Like there really are no very good games on the Android. Sadly.
Metal Slug Defense.
Is it?
It's pretty fun. It's
Okay.
it's kind of like a 2D really simplified RTS, but it's pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting bored of 2048, so maybe I'm just behind the times.
Dan, was there anything you were looking forward to?
Like I said, this year is kind of, it's like the year's kind of closing, and I can't think of much. Next year, I have a lot of stuff to be hyped about. That's
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Bravely Second,
Brave-
Zelda U.
Bravely
Digimon
Second,
game.
a new Zelda game, a Digimon game finally, Zero Escape 3,
Dr. Captain's got Star Fox.
Plenty
coming.
of
Yes, I do. I have
movies.
Star Fox.
I'm still waiting on an Ubisoft title or two, sadly.
Oh, when is The Division coming out?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
Oh yeah,
waiting for.
2016.
Were you also still waiting for Rainbow Six?
Yes.
That game looks like mostly done.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
It's entering beta in. I want to say like August or
October.
September. It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Then that might be released by
Oh, yeah,
holiday.
that was the
might
only
be.
other
Like,
thing
it
I was
looks
thinking of this year.
already playable.
It looks great, assuming you have enough people that you want to play the game with.
Oh
Which
yeah.
is why I tried to sign everyone up on the beta.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten anything back from them yet.
Did you receive the email originally?
Yeah, I
Right.
got your email. I signed up. I haven't gotten anything back yet. But yeah, that was the other game that was coming out the end of this year. It's like, I still
know-
want to see what happens with Warhammer Eternal Crusade. Got my fingers crossed that they do something good with it. They've scaled it back a little, so I'm still cautious optimism on that game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Jason and TKO are going to be part of that beta because you guys got
Yeah.
the E3 ticket
Yeah,
on the Humble
we did.
Store. So guaranteed beta access for Rainbow Six Siege came
Yep.
along with that.
I still feel bad for a friend of mine who's still chewing my ass out that he doesn't have World of Warships because he didn't know the Humble Bundle happened.
It went open beta. You can play it right now.
Oh, it is open beta
Yeah.
now. Okay. All right. Well, be sure to pass that news. Hey, everybody else, if you want to play with us at World of Warships.
It went open beta like right after the week after the E3 ticket.
Oh, really? I thought it was supposed to be next month is when they went open.
No, they went open.
Okay.
It's open now.
Cool.
Okay,
Anyway, yeah.
so-
I guess that kind of covers most of what we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
Alright.
more, but that
Yeah.
probably
Don't have
to come
enough
back
time
to
to
that. Yeah.
ponder.
We have to go
Yeah,
back
right.
through the list of what's coming this year versus next. Like that's what I'm saying. That's a close time frame, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
all of what I'm waiting for falls within it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, thanks for calling in, Peachy.
Yeah, of course.
Remember, you too can call us at Good Game Guys 1, or if you're listening live right now, at our Twitch and Hitbox.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
next time even well. You could just send a friend request over to that little Skype account, and then we can have you call in to talk about any of the crazy shit that we go on about. So, our last couple of stories.
Yeah,
we
let's
actually,
get the good news.
yeah, we got some good feel-good stories here. Talking about how the Baldur's Gate remake,
Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
yeah, Enhanced Edition,
It's
thank
getting a Siege of Dragonspear expansion soon.
They're expanding Baldur's Gate. Not
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 2, but Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, this is supposed to bridge the gap between Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
It's a pre-sequel.
you. Fuck you.
Well, it's a sequel to Baldur's Gate, but a prequel to Baldur's Gate 2. So it's
A pre-sequel.
I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Give me
I wasn't gonna go that far.
I'm looking for a release date, but I can't seem to find it.
Coming soon, TM.
Yeah.
Maybe like October, I think.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. Anyway, the other thing, and this is something I actually tried looking into. Sony's actually responding to fans' call for the hashtag better PSN. Now, I tried looking up, understanding, well, what's the problem with PSN, because I don't own a PlayStation 4, thank God.
I don't have a problem with PSN. It works just fine.
Well, I know there's been some complaints talking about how PSN actually is supposed to be slower on the PlayStation
Yeah.
3. And that's kind of what I gathered, is like, one, the formatting for PlayStation Network keeps changing, so it's difficult to find stuff.
Well, they're also continuously upgrading, or not upgrading, but updating the the software and the kernel on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're still making updates to the service to match the console to make sure that everything's running right. That they keep adding more stuff. Like remember when the PS4 came out, YouTube didn't come with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of a kernel update along with a PSN update to make sure that they could talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
As they gear PSN more towards the PS4, they're going to be dropping support for the PS3.
That figures, I imagine. But it was definitely one of the complaints that was circling up with the hashtag movement.
Yeah.
Dan,
I'm sure it's mostly a lot of people just fed up with all the security vulnerabilities and attacks on the PSN as of late. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's
been
kind of a
down
big
a
deal.
lot. Like, it seems like it's been down for every major game release.
Which there was news regarding that, but for fear, we didn't really want to talk about it because, yeah, we looked at what happened to other people that covered that particular
In
group.
other words, a certain someone got their sentence this week.
It's not really all that great, to be honest.
Like another certain edgy European teen got taken down.
All right.
But yeah, the Better PSN movement has listed their I'm going to say demands, I guess, the things they want to see from Sony. Sony is apparently listening. They've said they've given their website to send them any comments and concerns you have about PSN. But the things they want to have PSN offer is two-step authentication to improve security measures.
Well, for individual accounts, fine, but
Yeah.
how is that going to stop
You
random
know who.
squads out there from
Voldemort.
DDoSing the servers?
Voldemort, right?
I think what
Yeah.
they need to do is take a look at the talent level at Microsoft or at Google or any place that actually has network engineers and fucking
Yeah.
hire them.
Yeah, a lot of these honestly aren't about their back-end security. They just want simple stuff like two-step verification, an
It's-
online status system so
It's
people
all
can
user level.
all
there's-
user level stuff
That's
that they
not
want.
going to do anything.
It's like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's some other catalyst for this, but people
Well,
are wanting better things.
People are losing accounts and random stupid shit because they do game sharing with complete and total strangers.
That's
yeah.
right, yeah.
And look, if you're giving your account information to someone that you don't fucking know in person, i.e., someone whose ass you cannot kick, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
You're fucking losing your shit. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how stupid can you be? I'm gonna give my ATM card to some random kid in fucking Brazil with my PIN number.
Wait.
I'm gonna give all this expensive equipment that I've spent hours to get over to some other person so
I'm gonna
that they
give
can dismantle it in front of me.
I'm gonna give my $600 game library to this kid who now has my fucking account details and can just change the password on me.
Yep.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good ending point.
Well, the last thing that we have here, and this is going to be real quick.
Like,
so
stop
this is a
being stupid
funny-
people, please.
this is our
Never
last
gonna
thing.
happen.
I know.
Here's our last thing that we got, and I think this is a bit face palming.
All right.
So, Square Enix is actually trying to jump in on the bandwagon for creating their own little Minecraft game.
Yes, they've announced a game
With all the
for
other
Sony
clones.
systems called Dragon Quest Builders, and based on the screenshots, it looked like they took Minecraft, smoothed out the models and textures, and then threw in Dragon Quest character models.
Pretty
Wow.
So it's
Don't-
Dragoncraft.
Yeah. No, it really is.
And then here I just found
It's
an article about
Minecraft.
how Mojang wants to put Minecraft on 3DS and Wii U. So
That would be interesting.
it's gonna be on everything.
That would be
If
especially
Nintendo allows
interest-
it.
That'd be especially interesting considering how many Minecraft clones I've seen on the Nintendo eShop.
How could they even get it on the fucking Nintendo consoles if it's owned by Microsoft?
Licensing, bro.
All right.
Good answer. Correct answer.
Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna wrap everything up over here. So hey, everybody who's listening right now, you should totally hit the follow button if you're new to the show. We love that, and we always try to keep up to date with any of the crazy little shenanigans that we do, from streaming to maybe even special shows that we'll someday get around to.
Right.
Like when a robot fight happens, we're totally gonna stream that shit.
Well, we're not going to stream the fight, but we're going to stream our own fucking color commentary.
So be sure to watch it with us.
I will take that day
Sorry.
off from work.
I'm too busy laughing at this website. It
Are
doesn't
you on
get
the
any
Dragon
better.
Builder site now?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
look
my
at
God.
this. They had the fucking texture blocks too.
Those are Minecraft blocks. What the fuck is that shit?
No,
That's a fucking
it looks slightly different.
that's a texture pack, dude.
And so,
It's a fucking texture pack you can download off the internet.
so licensing, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm willing to say their crafting system's probably going to be a bit different, and there's going to be the trademark Dragon Quest stuff, where,
And I'm sure
where you
they'll-
can trade and breed monsters.
And I'm sure there'll be meaningful gameplay and an end game.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe even a story.
Oh, there's definitely going to be some semblance of a story.
And not as a separate standalone game.
There you go.
Maybe we're on overtime.
Yeah, we are totally on overtime. So, folks, be sure to hit the follow button on both our Twitch and Hitbox account. Also, be sure to like our Facebook page at Good Game Guys Show. We also have a Twitter at Good Game Guys 1. You can totally follow us there, even though we don't really do much with it. And hey, guys,
We might eventually.
for whatever reason, if you happen to miss the episode, any of I don't understand how the hell you're listening right now and missed this episode. But if you missed other past episodes, we have a YouTube channel where we are currently putting up a lot of our old archive stuff.
That's where they would be listening to us if they missed this show.
That is,
Yep.
well, if they're listening to us live right now, how did they miss this episode?
You didn't
But if
mention
they're
that we were listening
to
live.
it on YouTube right now, and thanks all 4 of you.
If you guys are listening live right now, there's a fucking thumbs up button. Why the fuck haven't you hit that goddamn button yet? Push the fucking thumbs up.
Wow. All right.
Calm down.
I thought I was the one who got upset at shit.
Calm down.
Unnecessary rage.
Like our goddamn video. Oh!
I hate you all, but I love you simultaneously.
Who wants to suck my? Never mind.
You might actually get a fucking list of people.
I'm gonna leave.
Lol. There's time to go.
Anyway, yeah,
We go
be sure to like everything that we have available. Our Facebook, our Twitter, Twitch, Hitbox,
all the stuff. All the
YouTube.
things.
Go there, like them, subscribe,
Thank you. Good night.
leave a comment maybe.
Lol.
Anyway, this is Dr. Captain,
I'm Deg.
Loud kid.
And I'm the NPC.
and this is everyone here at the Good Game Guys saying, "Good game, everyone."
GG easy.
What have you done?